So listen, I get asked all the time, like, yo, DB, how do you have so much certainty that my marriage can be restored? How do you have so much certainty that my marriage can be reclaimed? How do you have so much certainty that my marriage can do well? Like, yo, we're in a tough place right now. Things are bad. Things are in a tough, we're hurting. It's hard. We're not getting along. We don't like each other. We don't love each other. Like, it's no peace. It's no joy. There's no intimacy. Like, we're strangers and not soulmates. We're like co-parents in there in the home instead of truly being in love and healthy and thriving. So how are you going to tell me that my marriage can be restored, that my marriage can be reclaimed, that my marriage can be, you know, healed? Like, how do you have someone certainly saying that? Well, to be honest with you, because I serve a certain God. Like, I serve a God who does not lie, who does not fail. I serve a God who has promises for your marriage. I serve a God whose word does not come back void. And two, because I seen what God did in my marriage. I seen what happens when you become faithful, when you become obedient, when you yield and submit and surrender things over to the Lord. When you surrender your marriage and when you yield and submit your marriage and your spouse over to the Lord, I see what the goodness of God can do. See, we had to look at it when you have challenges in your marriage. See, the reason why I have so much certainty because I know that those challenges in your marriage, they come from the lies of the enemy, right? It's that simple. Like, we're either going to believe the promises of God or the lies of the enemy. So when you have a challenge in your marriage, when you have a stronghold going on in your marriage, something that you can't overcome in your marriage, that's because a lie from the enemy has been planted there and it has grown, it has festered, and you guys are operating out of the lies of the enemy instead of the truth and the promises of God. See, God has promises. It says, how happy, Psalms 128, how happy is everyone who fears the Lord, who walks in his ways. You will surely eat what your hands have worked for. You will be happy and it will go well for you. Your wife will be like a fruitful vine within your house, your children like young olive trees around the table. In this very way, the man who fears the Lord will be blessed. The person who fears the Lord will be blessed. How happy is everyone who fears the Lord. So when you come into alignment with God's will and way for your marriage, when you come into alignment with God's one way for your life, you will be blessed. Things will go well. That's his promises. His promises do not fail. So the issue is right now, not that you and your spouse are having challenges. It's that you and your spouse are believing the lies of the enemy. Anything that goes against what God's promises are a lie from the enemy. So if your marriage is not where you want it to be, it's not just because you and your spouse can't get along. It's because there's a stronghold there that needs to be broken. So listen to me. You can have a healthy and thriving marriage. It will work well for you, but you had to give it over to God.